In the heart of Southeast Asia, where temples sleep beneath ancient fig trees and mist clings to the forest floor like breath, there are creatures with feathers like fire, birds that whisper, vanish, and reappear where no one dares to look. Thailand isn't just the land of elephants and tigers. It is a secret sanctuary, home to some of the strangest, rarest, and most enchanting birds on Earth. Some live on mountain cliffs that catch the first light before dawn. Some only sing when the rain stops. And some, you'd swear they were made up until they turn their eyes on you. But this isn't just about rare birds. This is about survival, adaptation, mystery, and the shocking beauty that hides in plain sight. From a bird with neon wings to one that was lost to science for 60 years. We'll explore 15 species so strange, so unreal, they feel like they belong in a dream. But wait until you meet bird 12. It doesn't fly, it doesn't sing, and no one knows how many are left. If a bird could be a cathedral, this would be it. Deep in the shadowy rainforests of southern Thailand lives a creature so elusive, most locals have never seen one. Not because it's rare, but because it moves like a ghost, quiet, precise, almost invisible. It's called the Great Argus. From a distance, it looks plain, almost disappointing. Long legs, slender neck, brown speckled feathers. Nothing about it seems worthy of its name. But then, the forest stills. The male steps into a clearing, one that he's prepared himself, leaf by leaf. A perfect circle on the jungle floor. No debris, no distractions, just dirt, just silence. This is his stage, and now the show begins. He lifts his wings, not to fly, but to reveal something extraordinary. Two enormous fans unfold from his sides, each covered with hundreds of metallic golden eyes that shimmer in the dim light. These are not decorations, they are weapons of wonder. Each feather is impossibly long, each eye spot perfectly placed. Altogether, he becomes a living wall of eyes. It doesn't look like a bird anymore. It looks like something sacred. He turns sideways, still, waiting, displaying. He doesn't sing, he doesn't dance. He simply becomes the display. The female watches from the underbrush. If she's impressed, she might step forward. If not, he folds his cathedral of feathers and melts back into the trees, leaving nothing behind but silence. Some call him the ghost peacock. Others call him a spirit of the forest. But one thing is certain, he doesn't want attention. He wants awe. If the jungle had a trickster, this would be it. Small, plump, and strikingly colored, the black and red broadbill looks like a child's drawing come to life. Jet black wings, crimson red belly, and a beak so turquoise it glows like it came from another planet. But don't be fooled by its cartoonish charm. This bird is strange, in every way. It doesn't perch like most birds. It lurks, low in the trees, right above rivers and swamps. Its voice? Not a chirp, not a whistle, but a high-pitched metallic buzz like someone strumming wires underwater. Locals call it the ghost whistle, but its strangest behavior is what it builds. Hanging from thin tree branches over rivers, it weaves massive, drooping nests, like hairy sacks swaying in the breeze. Some nearly 2 feet long, and inside, tucked behind layers of moss and leaves, are its eggs. Why dangle a fragile nest over a river? No one knows for sure. Some believe it's to avoid snakes. Others think it's for temperature control. But to the human eye, it seems reckless, until you realize almost nothing dares to climb out that far. Broadbills are quiet but defensive. If threatened, they'll emit a chattering snarl, like metal grinding on glass. No one knows how such a tiny bird makes such a chilling sound. And just when you think you understand it, it vanishes. One flick of its wings and it's gone, lost in the shadows and reflections of the jungle river. It's not beautiful in the traditional sense. It's not graceful. It's not noble, but it's unforgettable. In a forest filled with spectacle, bright colors, giant feathers, bizarre behaviors, there's one bird that doesn't need to be seen to be unforgettable. You only need to hear it. The Whiterumpted Shama is a small, slender bird, barely bigger than your hand. Black upper parts, a bright rusty orange belly, and a crisp white patch under its tail. Elegant, but not showy. What makes it special is its voice. Clear, melodic, and hauntingly human. Early in the morning, when mist still clings to the trees, the Shama sings. Not just a chirp or a call, but a full performance. Whistles, warbles, notes that rise and fall with the grace of a violin. And here's the strange part. It doesn't just sing its own song. The Shama is a mimic. It borrows melodies from other birds, insects, even frogs. Then it weaves them into a song so fluid and emotional, it sounds almost intentional. In Thailand, the bird has long been considered a symbol of peace. In old villages, people would sit quietly and listen as the Shama perched on a nearby bamboo stalk and sang for no one in particular. Even now, its song is used in meditation retreats, in healing rituals, in poetry. But not everything is peaceful. Because of its beautiful voice, the Whiterumpted Shama has been a target of poachers for decades. Trapped and sold illegally for the cage bird trade, many were silenced. Thankfully, conservationists are fighting back. Sanctuaries have been built, laws strengthened, and in the quiet corners of Thailand's national parks, the songs are returning. The Whiterumpted Shama reminds us that power doesn't always come from being loud or large or strange. Sometimes, it's the quiet that stays with you the longest. Some birds are beautiful, some are powerful, and some are just plain weird. The Dusky Broadbill is one of those birds that makes you pause and think, wait, what am I even looking at? Plump and round with a massive head, it looks more like a cartoon character than a real animal. Its feathers are dusty black and gray, soft and fluffy like old velvet. But what truly grabs your attention is the beak. Huge, flat, wide, bright yellow. It doesn't look like a beak at all. It looks like a slice of banana glued to its face. But don't laugh just yet. This bird may look silly, but it's got secrets. Dusky Broadbills live in small family groups. They chatter constantly with a nasal, frog-like call, rah, 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 like they're complaining about the weather. And when they move, they do it like shadows, silent, slow, and low through the understory. But here's the weirdest part, their nest. Like their cousin, the black and red broadbill, they build massive hanging nests. But these ones, they look like tangled tumbleweeds, dangling off branches high above the forest floor. Scientists have described them as looking messy, ridiculous, and barely functional. But somehow, and they work. Inside, the chicks are hidden deep within the mess, safe from snakes, wind, and even heavy rain. The more chaotic the nest looks, the safer it seems to be. No one's quite sure how they figured this out, but the Dusky Broadbill doesn't care if you understand it. It doesn't want to be elegant, or noble, or mysterious. It wants to be weird. And in a jungle full of birds trying to outshine each other, sometimes weird wins. There's a bird in Thailand that hides so well, you could stare at it for hours and never know it's there. This is the Bliths frogmouth, a master of stillness, a ghost in bark. It doesn't fly much. It doesn't call loudly. It doesn't want to be seen. During the day, it perches upright on a dead branch, completely still, with its head tilted upward. Its feathers match the color of old wood, grayish-brown, streaked like bark. Even its eyes stay half-closed, blending into shadow. From a distance, it looks exactly like a broken branch. Even predators walk past without noticing. But don't be fooled. At night, the frog mouth awakens. It opens its huge, gaping mouth, hence the name, and begins the hunt. Moths, beetles, anything small enough to vanish in one silent gulp. Its flight is slow, but controlled, like a floating piece of cloth drifting between trees. No sound, no warning. And its call? A soft, eerie woo that rises and falls, like wind whistling through an empty cave. Some say it sounds like a soul lost in the forest. Others say it's the forest itself, breathing in the dark. No one knows exactly how many Bliths frogmouths exist. They're not endangered, but they're invisible. Even researchers struggle to find them. And when they do, it's by accident. This bird doesn't rely on speed, or strength, or beauty. It survives by vanishing, by becoming nothing, by becoming forest. And in a world where everything fights to be seen, this bird chooses silence. Some birds scream for attention, others vanish in plain sight, but a rare few feel like they don't belong in this world at all. The green Kachoa is one of them. It's not just rare, it's unreal. Almost no one has seen it in the wild. Bird watchers travel deep into the highland forests of northern Thailand, wait for days, and leave with nothing but a faint whistle echoing through the canopy. But if you're lucky, truly lucky, you might spot a shimmer of mossy green and iridescent blue perched quietly in the mist. The green Kachoa is a small, stocky, thrush-like bird with colors that seem painted by moonlight. Its feathers are a surreal blend of jade, violet, and sky, colors that shift with the angle of light. Some swear it glows. Others say it disappears when you blink. Even its behavior is odd. It moves in slow, calculated hops, barely making a sound. It doesn't sing often, and when it does, the notes are so soft and strange they sound electronic, like static on a broken radio. It nests alone, feeds alone, travels alone. And here's the twist. For years, scientists couldn't even agree on what family it belonged to. Was it a thrush? A flycatcher? Something else entirely? No one knew. In fact, for decades, the green Kachoa simply vanished. No sightings, no recordings, no photos. Some thought it had gone extinct. Others thought it never really existed at all. Then one foggy morning in Chiang Rai, it returned. Perched on a moss-covered branch, it looked out over the mountain valley for a moment, then disappeared into the trees again, like a ghost checking in. No one knows how many are left, or where they go, or what they mean. But maybe that's the point. Some birds amaze you with color, some with power. But this one, it haunts you. Some birds hide, some sing. This one watches. Perched high on a twisted branch, completely still, the crested Serpent Eagle is built for dominance. Stocky, broad-winged, golden-eyed, its head is crowned with stiff, bristled feathers that rise into a battle-ready crest. It doesn't need bright colors or strange tricks. Its body speaks the language of war. With wings stretching over 4 feet across, it glides like a shadow over jungle canopies, silent and smooth, scanning for the smallest flicker of movement below. It doesn't hunt mice or bugs. It hunts snakes, and not just tiny garden snakes, venomous pit vipers, cobras. The eagle spots them from high above, dives like a thunderclap, and snatches them with razor-sharp talons before they even finish turning to strike. It grips them, crushes them, then rises again, serpent in claw. Its call, when it chooses to make one, is piercing and metallic, like a rusty whistle blown through the trees. It echoes through the valleys, warning all who hear it. There's a killer in the sky, but even this apex predator has its secrets. During mating season, pairs of serpent eagles perform a haunting aerial dance, swooping, spinning, locking talons midair, not to fight, to fall. They tumble together in free fall for seconds before breaking apart and soaring back up, like fire testing fire. In Thai culture, the eagle is seen as a guardian spirit, a bringer of clarity, and in some local legends, when a serpent eagle circles overhead, change is coming. This bird doesn't ask for your admiration, it demands your respect. Because in a jungle full of feathers and flash, this one rules with silence, precision, and fangs between its claws. In a country full of brightly colored birds, this one chooses a different kind of beauty, not in color, but in movement. The racket-tailed Trippy is sleek and almost entirely black, with a greenish metallic sheen that flashes in sunlight. But what sets it apart, what makes it unforgettable, are its tail feathers. Long, curved, and ending in 2 separate rackets, like split ribbons dancing in the air. They move independently as the bird glides, twist as it hops, and flutter like pendulums when it perches. No other bird in Thailand looks quite like it. It doesn't sing in the traditional sense. Instead, it chatters, soft, bubbling, flute-like tones mixed with clicks and whistles. Its voice is full of character, like a wind instrument learning to speak. Locals often compare it to a mischievous child, curious, bold, and always watching. Trippies are social, playful, and strangely expressive for a wild bird. They tilt their heads, mimic sounds, and follow people from tree to tree with their tails swinging like tassels. But they're also incredibly skilled flyers. In dense forests, they zigzag between branches with unbelievable control. And when they glide in open air, their racket tails trail behind them in perfect rhythm, like brushstrokes on the wind. Even their nests are works of precision, shallow cups built high in the canopy, woven with vines and leaves so tightly they almost shine. Some birdwatchers say seeing a racket-tailed Trippy in flight is like watching calligraphy come to life. Not loud, not flashy, but mesmerizing. In a jungle filled with extremes, color, power, size, this bird reminds us that elegance can be just as wild. It doesn't demand attention. It earns admiration by being effortlessly graceful. In the early mornings of Thailand's countryside, before the sun fully rises, a sound pierces the quiet. It's not a song, not a call. It's a loud rising cry that sounds like someone shouting, "Coo-eel, coo-eel." At first it's charming, then strange, then annoying. Meet the Asian coal, a bird that's loud, lazy, and oddly brilliant. At a glance it looks like a slender crow with red eyes and a long tail. Glossy black for males, speckled brown for females. Nothing about its appearance screams bizarre, but its lifestyle? Oh, it's wild. The Asian coal is what scientists call a brood parasite, which means it doesn't raise its own babies. Instead, the female sneaks into another bird's nest, usually a poor, unsuspecting house crow, and lays her egg inside when the host isn't looking. Then she leaves. The crow, completely fooled, raises the coal chick as its own, feeding it, guarding it, even though it grows twice as big and squawks twice as loud. The poor crow doesn't seem to notice, or maybe it's just too busy dealing with its monstrous adopted child. But here's where it gets even weirder. Coal chicks often kick the real crow eggs out of the nest, claiming all the food for themselves. Brutal? Yes, clever, definitely. Despite their sneaky ways, Asian coals are surprisingly common and surprisingly loved. In Thai culture, their call is considered a sign that summer has begun. Some villages even associate the coal's call with romance, longing, or heartbreak. Others just want it to shut up. Because when one coal starts calling, they all start calling. At 5 a.m., on repeat. This bird doesn't build, doesn't parent, doesn't apologize. It thrives by being loud, lazy, and weirdly successful. You can walk through the jungle for hours, eyes open, ears sharp, camera ready, and still miss it entirely. Because the blue pitta doesn't want to be found. It moves silently through the leaf litter, darting from root to rock, never making a sound. And yet, if you're lucky enough to spot it, you'll think you've seen something magical. About the size of a robin, the blue pitta looks like a living gemstone. Its head is soft yellow, fading to orange on the crown. The face is marked with clean black lines, almost like ink strokes. But the real shock is the body. Electric blue, deep cobalt, feathers so vivid they look wet with light. No photo does it justice. No video captures its glow. Birdwatchers describe seeing their first blue pitta as losing their breath. It's not just beautiful, it's surreal. But here's the twist. Despite its colors, it's incredibly hard to find. Why? Because the blue pitta is a ground forager. It doesn't perch in treetops or sing from branches. It skulks on the jungle floor, turning over dead leaves with its beak, looking for insects and worms. It moves like a shadow between tree roots and mossy stones, and it sings only rarely, a soft, melancholy woo that fades almost as soon as it begins. Blink, and the sound is gone. Its nest is equally hidden, low to the ground, tucked under roots or ferns, woven from damp moss and bark. Perfect camouflage, like the bird itself. To see a blue pitta is a moment, a flash, a privilege, because in a world where everything is trying to stand out, This bird stuns you by blending in. It's not loud, it's not rare, but it is unforgettable, like catching a glimpse of a sapphire in the wild. It weighs less than a tennis ball. It could sit in the palm of your hand, and yet it survives floods, fire, and predators twice its size. This is the chestnut-capped babbler, a tiny, restless bird built for the wild edges of Thailand. You won't find it deep in the jungle. It lives where forest meets field, among reeds, tall grass, and wet marshland. A place where the ground is unstable, the weather unforgiving, and danger comes from every direction. But the babbler doesn't hide. It adapts. Its body is compact and nimble. Warm chestnut on the head, bright white on the throat and belly, a tiny flicking tail. It moves through grass like a mouse, darting, disappearing, reappearing feet away. And it talks, constantly. Babbler flocks murmur to each other all day in rapid clicks and chirps. One starts, another replies, then another. It's a rolling conversation, part warning system, part group cohesion, part personality. But don't let the cuteness fool you. These birds build their nests low, dangerously low, just a few inches above the swampy ground. Their dome-shaped homes are woven from reeds and grass so tightly, water rolls right off. When floods come, they rebuild. When fire sweeps the fields, they vanish and return. No bright feathers, no loud songs, just a relentless will to survive. And that's the magic. In a country with peacocks and serpent eagles, this little brown bird quietly raises family after family, season after season, in a world that should overwhelm it. But it thrives, not by fighting the wild, but by flowing with it. Some birds amaze you with beauty, some with power, this one with persistence. Just when you think the colors couldn't get any more surreal, the forest whispers again, this time in green fire. Meet the Asian emerald cuckoo, a bird so dazzling it seems more like a gemstone with wings than a living creature. At first glance, you might miss it, perched high on a mossy branch, barely moving. But when sunlight hits its feathers, everything changes. Its body ignites with an iridescent green, shimmering like polished jade. A bold stripe of white across its belly gives it contrast. And then there are the eyes, bright, unblinking yellow. Watching, always watching. Unlike most birds on this list, this cuckoo doesn't build a nest. Instead, it sneaks into other birds' homes and lays its eggs in their care. When the chick hatches, it often outgrows its adoptive siblings, and sometimes even pushes them out of the nest. Beautiful, yes, but also ruthless. In Thailand's ancient forests, the emerald cuckoo is both admired and avoided. Local folklore says its green plumage glows brightest when a storm is near, as if it channels the jungle's restless energy. You won't hear it sing a sweet tune. Its call is a high-pitched whistle, sudden and sharp, like glass breaking in the wind. What makes it truly unforgettable, though, is the way it moves. A quick burst of flight, then stillness. Then again, a flash of green through the canopy. Gone before your eyes can catch it twice. Some birdwatchers spend years hoping to spot this bird once. And when they do, it's not just a tick on a checklist. It's a moment, a reward, a glimpse into the wild magic of Southeast Asia. But wait, our final bird takes everything you've seen so far and turns it up to 11. Because what if I told you Thailand is home to a bird so strange? It looks like it walks straight out of a fever dream. Let's finish strong. In the rugged mountains of northern Thailand, where the air is thin and the roads turn to mist, lives a bird few have ever seen, and even fewer will forget. The Hume's pheasant is not loud. It doesn't fly far. It doesn't seek your attention. But when it appears, you feel like you've just walked into another time. The male is a vision of quiet majesty, a chestnut brown body that gleams in sunlight, a shimmering steel blue head, and a long tail streaked with ivory white bands. His eye is rimmed with scarlet, not glowing, just intense. He walks, not struts, moves, not darts, a creature of presence, not performance. Unlike many forest pheasants, Hume's pheasant prefers open pine woodland, high in the hills, places where mist rolls through the trees and the earth crunches under fallen needles. These are not easy places to reach. The weather shifts quickly. The terrain is steep, it's cold, it's quiet, and that's exactly how he likes it. This bird avoids people, it avoids attention, and for many years it avoided even science. Once thought to be disappearing, it was feared nearly gone from Thailand. But slowly, carefully, conservation areas were established in the north. And when the forests were left to breathe again, he returned. You won't hear him before you see him. You'll just catch a shape, a shimmer of color between trees, and then he's gone, like fog burning off in morning sun. The locals know him not by name, but by motion. They call him the ghost of the ridge, because this bird doesn't call for fame, doesn't chase the sky. He walks the mountain in silence, like he's always belonged to it. Some birds amaze you with spectacle, others with story, but this one, with stillness. It looks like a punk rocker, it sounds like a mixtape, and it acts like a prankster with wings. This is the greater Rackettail Dongo, one of Thailand's funniest, weirdest, and smartest birds. At first glance, it already looks bizarre. Sleek black feathers that shimmer blue in the sun. A messy, uncombed crest on its head. And the tail? Two long, wiry streamers ending in paddle-shaped rackets that sway and flick with every move, like some kind of alien antennae. But that's just the start, because this bird has a superpower. It's a master mimic. It can imitate the calls of over 20 different bird species, from hawks to mynas to squirrels and even frogs. And it doesn't just copy for fun, it copies to mess with other animals. Imagine this. A group of birds is feeding peacefully. Suddenly, the Dongo lets out a perfect hawk scream. Panic. Everyone scatters. Guess who swoops in and steals the leftovers? Yep, him. It's called deceptive mimicry, and the greater Rackettail Dongo is a master of the art. Even mammals like monkeys sometimes fall for the trick. Incredibly, studies show they even tailor their fake calls to specific species, like con artists choosing their scam. And they're bold. If you walk into their territory, they'll follow you, watch you, sometimes even mock you, with sounds eerily similar to camera clicks or phone ringtones. Yes, they mock tourists. Despite all this, they're strangely elegant in flight. Those tail streamers ripple behind them like calligraphy brushes, drawing loops through the air. They're not the biggest, not the brightest colored, but they're unforgettable. Because in the jungle of Thailand, where beauty and stealth dominate, this bird wins with brains and a wicked sense of humor. In the golden light of dawn, beside a misty riverbank deep in northern Thailand, something stirs, a shimmer, a ripple of green and gold. Then, slowly, deliberately, it steps into view, the green peafowl. If you've only seen the Indian version in zoos, forget it. This one is wilder, taller, rarer, and infinitely more regal. Unlike its cousin, the green peafowl's entire body, head to tail, is wrapped in shimmering scales of emerald, sapphire, and bronze. Its neck burns like molten jade. Its crest stands tall like a warrior's crown. And when it spreads its fan, it doesn't just display, it dominates. 6 feet of iridescent weaponry explode behind it, dotted with glowing eyes that seem to blink as it moves. In the wild, this isn't decoration, it's declaration. I am still here, because make no mistake, this bird should have vanished. Once spread across Southeast Asia, the green peafowl has disappeared from much of its former range. Deforestation, poaching, habitat loss. In Thailand, it came dangerously close to extinction, but in pockets of protected forest, thanks to determined conservation, it fights on. Still wild, still wary, still walking like royalty. And here's what makes it truly remarkable. Unlike the Indian peacock, this one can actually fly. And not just flap, soar, through valleys, over treetops, with tail trailing like a royal banner in the wind. In Thai tradition, it's a symbol of power, virtue, and rebirth. In Buddhist art, it guards the teachings. In local legend, its cry signals change. And when you hear it echo across the jungle, a haunting, rising scream, it chills you because it's the sound of survival. In a world that tried to erase it, this bird endures, not because we protected it, but because it refused to disappear. And maybe that's the most beautiful thing of all. From mountain ghosts to mimics and thieves, to creatures so beautiful they seem unreal, Thailand's birds are not just animals. They are stories, alive, in feather and flight. Some hide in silence, some scream at the sun, some may already be gone. But each one leaves behind a trace, a color, a cry, a mystery. And maybe that's the real wonder. Not just that these birds exist, but that we were lucky enough to glimpse them. If this journey made you curious, if one of these birds surprised you or even made you smile, let us know in the comments. Which one stole your heart? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because the wild has so much more to show. See you in the next flight.